Send them a scalpel. You looking at me, Diamond?
We're losing adrenaline now.
You'll never amount to anything, Diamond.
Everybody clear. You scum.
We've lost him.
GamesMaster. As a show, it's more soothing than a chocolate massage, more life-affirming than finding a bottle of fizzy pop after 3 days in the desert, and more rewarding than rescuing Pamela Anderson from drowning in a sea of £20 notes. Later on in the show, we'll have a top challenge on total basketball, but first, funny boys make movies in an event we're calling Blokes on Film.
You're in the director's chair, so you call the shots.
Director's Lab is a PC package that allows you to cut and paste hundreds of sounds and pictures together to create your own movie. The technique's similar to professional editing software, not that we'd know anything about that. The pictures are laid in sequence along a bar and the accompanying sound added underneath, along with any special effects your directorial instincts demand. Once completed, it's off to the screening room where you can sit back with a truckload of popcorn and enjoy the fruits of your labour. For this event, our two contestants will be attempting to create their own movie masterpiece, but to make things more interesting, we've selected one clip that both contestants must use in their movie, and this is it. A bloke dancing rather energetically, if rather badly.
Our contestants have until the end of the show to prepare their very own movie masterpiece, using all the tools at their disposal. The Golden Joystick will go to the contestant whose finished work displays the greatest amount of entertainment value, creativity, and flair.
And splitting the very sides of heaven fantastically open with a directorial debut, two blokes who are so funny we don't even mind the fact that Fist of Fun is on the BBC, Stewart Lee and Richard Herring. Welcome to the show, Richard.
It's a delight for me.
Now, first of all, Stuart, just tell us exactly how funny you two are.
4.
Okay.
On the comedy scale, you're aware of it.
Out of how much?
That's 5 or 6 probably. It's like the Richter scale.
Yeah. So that's quite a good start.
Yeah.
That is. And you've never directed anything before, no? That is correct?
No.
But you are going to be tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I want to know, obviously, it was only last year that you exploded onto television. I don't use that word lightly. So maybe some of our viewers, they need to know a little bit more about you. So tell us one interesting fact they wouldn't know about you, Stuart.
Ooh, I used to work as a researcher for a gardening company. Yeah.
Was that a lot of fun?
Yeah, it was good, actually.
Much laughter action?
No.
No.
But, you know, people often say that's an unusual career move, going from that into comedy. And it is, they're right. It's an unusual career move. So,
okay. Yeah. Richard, almost every woman I know fancies Stuart.
Yeah.
None of them fancy you. Why is that?
Well, it's because I'm the funny one and I have him along to just get girls interested in watching it. And actually, they do really fancy me. Also, I've deliberately kept myself ugly because then the beautiful women I get off with, their beauty is just heightened next to my ugly body.
I'm exactly the same with myself. I like to add. Well, you've got to get the films done before the end of the show, so I can't keep you any longer. If you'd like to crack on, move over to the computers, please.
Okay.
And while they're doing that, we'll rush headlong into today's news. First up, we have a special offer. We're giving you the chance to be one of the first people in the country to take part in trials of a new game network, Wireplay. It's for owners of PCs who want to play their favourite games against other people, but don't have any mates. Log on to it via your modem and telephone line, register what game you'd like to play, and the Wireplay computer hooks you up with one of the 3,000 other people on the service. The service proper doesn't begin until late summer, but BT, the producers of Wireplay, are looking for 250 people to take part in their pre-launch test of the system. If you want to be one of them, we'll be giving a free telephone number to call at the end of the show, but you'll need a minimum 486 PC with a 14.4 modem and ideally a CD-ROM drive too. You should also be aware that if you are chosen, you will still have to pay £1.50 per hour off-peak in phone charges whenever you're using the system, but that's cheaper than buying a small Norfolk farming community. No, this isn't the latest game for one of the next generation consoles. This is Toy Story for the humble old Mega Drive. It boasts easily the most impressive graphics of any 16-bit game to date, such as a dinosaur that is so realistic I thought, ooh, I've gone back in time. A variety of game styles are featured, including a plan view driving game and even a Doom-style 3D section. And why are the graphics in Toy Story so hemorrhoid-inducingly good? Well, they're taken straight from the Disney movie of the same name, and we'll be bringing you more on that movie in 2 shakes of a lamb's little tail. The flying contraption you see here is the winner of this year's annual aerial robotics competition. There is no one controlling this robot. It has to use its own artificial intelligence to navigate an arena and search and pick up a coin. Top work, Scottish robot bloke. Hundreds of competitors are entered each year, and gratifyingly, the majority of them serve to demonstrate that most robots are thick as mince.
Hey, Slinky?
Take an emaciated cowboy called Woody and his strange relationship with a dog, add a whole community of toys who come alive when people aren't around, and add a sprinkling of new characters such as Buzz Lightyear, who doesn't realise he's a toy, and you've got Toy Story, the latest Disney movie that's quite literally making vast amounts of money in the United States. In this scene, Buzz and Woody, having just met, have the first of many disagreements.
What? These are plastic. He can't fly.
They are a beryllium carbonic alloy, and I can fly.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
You can't.
Can.
Can't.
Tell you, I could fly around this room with my eyes closed.
Okay, then, Mr. Lightbeer, prove it.
All right, then I will. Stand back, everyone. To infinity and beyond!
Voices for the rivaling toys were recorded by Tom Hanks and Home Improvement's top bloke, Tim Allen. But that was the easy bit. The hard part was designing and rendering the hundreds of highly detailed computer models that make Toy Story the world's first entirely computer-generated movie. What sets Toy Story apart is not just the astounding quality of the graphics, but the kind of attention to plot and characterization that Mr. Disney bloke excels in.
You are a sad, strange little man.
This isn't a bunch of tedious computer graphics trying to impress you, but a no-holds-barred roller-coaster ride of human emotion that looks set to equal The Lion King in its appeal.
This cannot be happening to me. Sheriff, this is no time to panic. This is the perfect time to panic.
The action really starts when Buzz and Woody find themselves stranded on the outside world on the very day their owners are moving house.
Look out! Wait, hold on to my tail! Attaboy, Slink! Woody, speed up! Speed up! The batteries! They're running out!
Toy Story is opening in March.
Look out! Buzz, will you get up here and give me a hand?
There's an air of great concentration here. We have the dangerously attractive Stewart Lee and the quite simply funny Richard Herring trying to make their own movie by the end of the show on Director's Lab. Now, Stu, how are you getting on? What have you got for us so far?
I'm basing mine around a theme of insects and children eating. This kid eating, that's brilliant, look at it.
She's having a right old munch there, isn't
Fabulous
she?
image, yeah.
Bless her. Right, Richard, what about you? What are you going for?
Good question.
Richard Herring presents. Yeah, that's good. What kind of presents are they?
Got, well, it's got presidents in it, in fact, and so far I've got Ronald Reagan there.
Finally, my fellow Americans.
See, that's a satire for the American political system there.
Almost a lampoon.
But I'm probably not going to do this, I'm just messing around.
Right, but you have some top sound effects in there.
I do, yeah.
Where'd you get that one from?
All over the place.
That is a fantastic sound effect here.
I'd copy his work, but it'd look ridiculous.
I work mainly in the sound medium, which isn't very good for this.
Okay, well, we'll leave Lee and Herring beavering away. Meanwhile, we do have one special challenge on today's show. Let's go over to GamesMaster and find out what it is.
It's time now to kiss the rim and dunk the basket as we prepare to play the basketball sim NBA 96 on the PlayStation. The two teams I've selected, the Houston Rockets and Orlando Magic, are both known for bringing it home when it counts. And our players have 1 2-minute quarter to sort out which of them will be taking the golden joystick with them. Right then, let's tip off.
Kissing the rim on Total Basketball, we have Linton Vassell and Lawrence Harwood. Welcome to the show, Linton. Welcome, Lawrence. Okay, Linton, we asked Richard and Stewart earlier on to tell us something interesting about themselves. I'd like you to do the same, please.
Probably come here.
Coming here?
Yeah.
Is the most interesting. Is that why you've bought such obviously new shoes?
Yeah.
How much did they say? Oh no, we shouldn't talk about that. It's a commercial reference. We don't like them actually. Are you pleased with your shoe purchase, Linton?
Yeah.
I'm glad we cleared that up. Linton? Lawrence, right, tell us something interesting about you.
Not much. I've just 2 years in a row now. I've entered a Blockbuster Video Championship, and I've won it twice to get to the finals, and both times been knocked out in the quarterfinals.
Okay. Well, Linton and Lawrence are going to get ready to play Total Basketball. We're going to take a short break. Don't forget, coming up in part 2, the results of Lee and Herring's filmmaking. We'll be back in a minute. Total NBA 96. Meanwhile, we have Stewart Lee and Richard Herring. They're making their films over in the corner. Courtside with me is Rik Henderson for PC Review. Rik, tactics, please.
Right, well, it's not worth going for risky three-pointers, just like real basketball this game, so it's not worth going for those. Go in for these safer dunks. That's one piece of advice. Also, don't pass it around when you're in a crowded pack, because you'll always get the ball stolen from you.
Okay, some lessons for the game, and indeed life there from Rik. Okay, so basically it's 1 2-minute quarter. Whoever has the most points at the end of that will win the joystick. Best of luck, Linton. Best of luck, Lawrence. Let's go to tip-off. Okay, so Linton is playing the Houston Rockets in the white. They're going from left to right. Lawrence is playing Orlando Magic in the black, going from right to left. Rik.
Yeah, he's got to try and get in early. He's gone for a three-pointer.
Missed that, hit the rim, rebounded off.
But the top bar is the three-pointer average for the player. The ones in the centre won't actually be able to do three-pointers as well as those on the outside.
Okay, we've got a defensive foul here. We're going to a free-throw situation here. This is Lawrence going for it.
He's got it.
That's one in. He's going to get the second one. Now, what are these bars here, Rik?
Right, the bars are, he's got to stop them in the centre of the tee. Each bar has got to be in the centre of its specific line.
It's 2-0 to Lawrence at this point in time, but Linton on the attack, coming up through down the middle of the court. We haven't seen one dunk attempt yet. Wait, it comes, it's through. It's got to be a dunk now. He's going for the goal. He's got it though. 2-all. Lawrence has possession now. Racing up in the court into Linton's half. That's a good pass there. He's coming in. Oh, it's a fantastic pass. The man is open. Oh, he passed it out. What was he doing there, Rik?
I don't know what he was doing there. I think he thought he was going to be stolen by an opposition player, and he passed it out to another player.
And now, in fact, it has been stolen now. This is Linton with the ball, going up the centre of the court. One man standing right in front of him. Oh, it was knocked out his hands, but Linton's got it back again. He's up, he's in the key, he's in the paint, he takes a shot, it's in there, 4-2 to Linton.
I thought he was going to go...
36 seconds left.
I thought he was going to go for a rather tricky little flip or something, but he actually took it very safely.
And again we have Linton on the action. This could probably seal it. It's in there, 6-2 with only 28 seconds to go. If you were Lawrence, what would you be doing now, Rik? Would you be going for the risky three-pointers?
I think he has to now. He's so far behind, he's got to try it, but only give it to the players who have got a high red bar up.
That's another one from Linton there, 8-2. He's got no choice now. Lawrence has to go for some three-pointers.
He needs two of them.
He goes for one. Oh, it's a rebound and the Whites get it. Linton on the attack once more. 12 seconds left, Rik.
He should just keep possession now. He's surely won it.
Rebound there from Linton, but there's a few seconds left. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Is he going to get the shot off? No, he's not. The time is over. Linton wins the challenge. Okay, I'll start with you, Lawrence. That was utter pants, your performance. Beaten 8-2.
It's worse than that.
Worse than pants? I can't imagine anything worse than your pants. Can you?
Yeah, my playing.
Okay, Linton, you did say coming on the show was the most interesting thing you've done in your life, and you have one now.
Yeah.
Does that make it doubly interesting? Anything else you'd like to say, Linton? Anyone you'd like to say hello to? No? No one at all? Right, well, I think we'll just present the joystick to you. Is that all right, Linton? Thank you very much indeed. Right, so the GamesMaster Golden Joystick goes to Linton. So let's have another round of applause then. Linton Bassel and Lawrence Harwood. Okay, like me, you're probably wondering, I wonder how those fine young lads, Lee and Herring, are getting on at Director's Lab at this point in time. Let's go and find out. Oh, and I hope the films have improved because they're a bit duff so far. I wonder if we could get rid of them. So, Stuart and Richard have only got about 5 minutes left. Stuart, how's your one progressing? Are we still on the insects and children?
Yeah, but and food now as well. But
You've moved on to food as well?
I'm never going to get it done in time.
Any saucy sounds for us yet?
No, I haven't even thought about the sound medium. Rich has been racing ahead in sound, but I haven't begun.
Right, Richard, how are you getting on? Anything new to
Very
report?
badly indeed. My satire is continuing though. The American government won't do this
Well, he's trying to bring down the American government using this programme. It's not going to work, let's face it.
But what a fine forum this show is for advancing your own political career still. Many people have said that, many reviewers.
We're very political comedians, you know, and so we're going to show them that.
Politics,
we're like the new
sort of
Rory
swearing.
Bremner, we are, but we use cartoons instead of funny voices.
Okay, right, well, you've got a few minutes left, and we are going to stop Lee and Herring. While we finish up these films, then we'll take a look at today's reviews. First up, Rick's curious clubby headgear and Dave's ever more bleached hair get their follicles around D on the Saturn.
D is a graphic adventure that uses FMV to maximum overload level. It's extraordinarily gory, and you just wander around collecting things to use in puzzles later on. That's it.
But the graphics are really nice. They're very dark and very sinister. The trouble is, you don't get to interact with them very often, and when you do actually solve a puzzle, the bit of action you get is all over too soon, and really, you don't feel there's enough reward for the amount of time you have to put into the game.
Next up, top 3D atmospheric mystery pixelated characters, nice graphics, action ahoy in Timegate on the PC.
Well, Timegate is the banker. It is a slick and graphically outstanding adventure and the perfect example of what can happen when gameplay meets innovation.
Timegate, you see, has the two major elements that make an adventure game of this type actually work. It has plot progression, and it has more than enough puzzles to keep you going. It also has the bonus of absolutely superb graphics. Alone in the Dark really set a new standard in 3D adventures, but Timegate takes that so much further, it's uncanny.
Finally, a plot stolen straight from the pages of EastEnders. Get inside a huge, gigantic, futuristic robot and run around shooting people in Crazy Ivan on the PlayStation.
The control method makes it very easy to play. There are lots of little nice features like when you blast a robot, all the little men run out and you can pick them up or shoot them to pieces, which I usually do. And the bosses in the game are huge, which is a real bonus when you finally come across them. You get a real monster to fight, and that makes it very challenging and very satisfying when you watch him go down.
Yep, it's the well-constructed missions that make Crazy Ivan so darn playable. It has FMV sections, it has you jumping into huge metal suits, and it has wandering around completing missions by blasting the heck out of every other robot on the planet. It's tops.
How do you feel?
America is safe with me. I'm gonna stomp those aliens. I'm gonna terminate them. I'm doing this for John Wayne.
Okay, both Stuart and Richard's films are quite literally in the can. We're going to get Stuart up first to talk us through his.
Right, thanks.
Okay, Stuart, this is your movie.
Yeah, it's called Repulsion. The problem with this program, I think, with the game, is that you don't have access to like any repeated images of the same character, so you can't work within a narrative framework. You have to just use abstract images. As we'll see.
What does that mean? What does that
You can't tell a story.
Right, okay.
So I've tried to deal with the idea of food as a kind of poison.
Okay, here goes Stuart from Stuart Linsky's Repulsion. Take it away, Stuart.
Okay, well, There's not much to say. Here, in the foreground, we see there's worms, right? Various images of food behind, and someone eating a lot. That was a mistake. That was a cow. And there's more food there.
Yeah.
More the food behind. And that's unpleasant food. There's worms again there.
Does this have any meaning?
Yeah, it means, you know when you feel really sick and you hate the idea of eating, but you still do. That's kind of what it's about. Right. That's the bit, we had to put that bit in. That's the bit we said, but I tried to make it relevant by putting a sort of toilet flushing sound.
Right, I like that bit, actually.
That's my favourite bit, isn't it?
That was a great bit.
You know.
And it ends, and that was the ending.
That's the end.
Nice the way it did all come together at the end.
Well,
all the little threads.
It ends, doesn't it? It's got a definite end. It's when it goes black.
All
That's
right.
the end.
Okay, well, Stewart, let's go over to GamesMaster for his adjudication.
I'm afraid I fail to see any merit in that pathetic excuse for a movie. The endless repetition of the same material seems to indicate a complete lack of creative talent. I award it 1 out of 10. And you can consider that generous.
A very poor score, then, for Stewart Lee.
get
Let's
that
see if Richard Herring's film fares any better. OK, Richard, take us through it. Start your film.
Right, once again, we have the narrative problem, so I've used juxtapositions here to satirise Americans.
OK, President Reagan there.
Yeah, you have to listen to the people saying, speaking.
I only want your brain.
He's the president can be. A funny man's face. Each time the juxtaposition parodies the president, or does it?
And there's that clip we have to
This bit's coming is good. Watch this bit in a minute. Hello. That's good, see?
That's very good. That was very good, Richard. That was worth the admission fee, that one.
Please, see, but wait, because look.
This film is a satire of satire.
This is I'm having a go at Rory Bremner here.
Right.
And people like him who think satire's a clever art form. And there you go.
And that was
laughing, you see. It was a satire of satire in the end.
A satire of satire.
Got you.
For viewers at home who are perhaps a bit too young to understand what a satire of satire means, it basically means it's rubbish. And
excuse, though,
trying to come up with an excuse so that we think that it's actually good.
No.
But
Don't
the big
you see, Dominic?
But I may be wrong there. But the big question is, so at the end of the day, it doesn't actually matter what I think of it, Richard.
Yeah.
It is up to GamesMaster. So let's go over to him for his adjudication.
Well, I doubt it'll be sweeping the Oscars next year, but at least it demonstrated a rudimentary understanding of how to entertain an audience, albeit a very stupid one. I shall award it 2 out of 10.
So Richard's score is still pretty poor on 2, but enough to beat Stewart.
Yeah.
Stewart, I mean,
I'm not happy about it.
You're not happy with your score?
I don't see where the GamesMaster gets the power to judge it. I mean, it's all right, you know, normally it's like a score, so he can decide who's won, but you're asking him to make an aesthetic value judgment about something, and I don't think that is within his power to do so.
You're only saying that because you lost.
Arguably, no, I don't think he was right at all.
Right.
He's not a Palm d'Or judge, is he?
Well, you did manage to plug the video, though.
Yeah,
I did that.
I forgot to plug the CD and the book and the T-shirts and the pants.
Richard Herring action
and the
doll.
toothbrush, yeah, everything.
And the badges.
Badges. Oh, no, I haven't got one.
No, I won't come on this again.
No, we won't ask you after that. That was quite pitiful, I have to say.
I thought it was all right, Stu.
No, I wouldn't clap us back. I thought yours was pretty rubbish as well. Richard,
still 100% better than his, though,
No,
wasn't
it was. Well, it's presentation time, and so the winner of the special Blokes on Film Golden GamesMaster Joystick is Richard. Okay, that's all we've got time for. That's the end of the show. Remember, everyone at home, life is like a pair of pants. If you don't start to change it, they can smell. Bye-bye.